Welcome, I'm Bev Adams. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. I sell Stampin' Up products, and I also share a few other things that will help you make crafting easier. One of the big things that I share is my Evernote notebook. I've recorded a series of videos sharing how to connect with my notebook, how to change your view in the notebook, how to sort and find exactly what you're looking for. Today's video is on how to create your own notebook and copy my notes into it. Evernote works on all kinds of different devices. I have a Windows computer. It works on Macs and iPads and Android phones, tablets, and you can share my notes on all of those devices, but it does look a little bit different on each device, and there are some functions that work better or a little bit differently on different devices. I would like to thank Debbie, who shared her Mac computer screen, and I would also like to thank Nancy Jo for sharing her iPad. So you'll see their screens throughout this video. This is my notebook, and I have notes for all the current products. Whenever Stampin' Up offers new products throughout the year, I add them in. Whenever you open Evernote or click the synchronize button, the new notes for the new products will synchronize onto your computer. I have a Windows computer, and I am showing you how to do this on a Windows machine. This is what an iPad screen looks like. She still has the black column that I have, but it's only got a few icons on it. And then she has her middle column that looks a lot like mine with the notes, except she has larger images. This is how to create a new notebook on a Windows machine. To make a new notebook, go to File and New Notebook and just give it a name. Today I'm going to give it the name of Sample. You can give it any name. My personal notebook is called Bev's Stuff, and I would just suggest to you that you should be putting all of your crafting products, so don't limit it to current products or Stampin' Up products. Just click OK. And now under my list of notebooks, I have one called Samples. You create a new notebook with a Mac just the way you do with a Windows machine, except sometimes I find that file row hidden.
When I had it on full screen, this was hidden.
Okay.
And so I don't have it full screen, and so now it's there.
So when you open Evernote in smaller screen, you see that all the time?
Yes.
Okay. And if it's full screen, you have to click somewhere on that gray bar to make it show up.
You just have to hover on it.
Here's what that looks like on an iPad. Can you describe and show how to create a new notebook?
So right in that middle column, it says notebooks that's bolded, and there's a little plus sign out to the right of it.
Yes.
And I just click on that and give it
so let's call this
name.
one Sample.
Okay.
So there's her sample notebook under where it says Retired Products. Here's how to copy notes on my Windows computer. And I want to probably start copying my notes with stamps. So I'm going down to the tags. On my Windows machine, I have to hold the control button as I click stamps, and then that will show me all the stamps. Then the next thing you want to do is go over to your shelf and grab some stamps. Now I keep my stamps in alphabetical order, which helps me find them very easily. Some people store their stamps by category, like maybe all the stamps from the mini catalogs, or maybe all the greetings and all the holidays. But in my opinion, once you use Evernote, you can keep them in alphabetical order and let Evernote do all that sorting. So I'm clicking stamps, and maybe I've got all my stamps in alphabetical order. So then the first time I do this, I'm going to pick my first stamp set. And on my Windows machine, I get this blue rectangle in the middle column. On a Mac, that the notes in the center column are highlighted all in blue. But Nancy Jo, I can't see that middle column note is selected. I do see it over on the right side.
It's very faint.
I do see now that you mention it that it is barely visible, just a little shade darker.
Right.
Back to copying a note on my Windows machine. I want to right click and I want to choose copy note. And then I pick the notebook that I want to put it into. So I'm going to put it into sample. On the Windows machine, I have these two boxes. The most important one is preserve tag, but there's also the preserve created and updated dates. I think both of these need to be checked. And once you've checked them, they should always be checked. But even after all this time, I still double check that those are checked off. Then I want to go check what I've done. By the way, when I check copy, nothing happens. It looks like maybe it didn't do anything. I kind of wish Evernote would show that it says one note copied or something, but no. So I'm going to go up here and change to that sample notebook, and I have that note copied. I want to double check that the tags up here copied with it. And if those are there, you're good to go. Switch back to the current products notebook and back to your stack of stamps and click more. Now, I copied one note before, but I can copy multiple notes at once on my Windows machine. You can do it on a Mac too. I suggest you copy 5 notes at a time. Locate the first stamp set that you want to copy. And then when you go to your second one, hold down your Control key and then click it. And now those are both there. Find your next stamp set, hold down your Control key, click it. And so until you have your 5 stamps, holding down the Control key as you click each of those 5. By the way, you do not want to hold down the Control key for that first stamp. By default, that first top note will be highlighted. If you hold down the Control key for that first one, that top stamp set will be included. If you get any that you don't really want, just hold down the Control key and click it again, and it will deselect it. Then to copy, put your cursor over any of those outlined stamps, right click, copy notes, pick the notebook that you want to copy it to, confirm that those boxes are checked, and click copy. Then go to your sample notebook and make sure that those are there. These blue triangles will show that those need to be synchronized. It might be helpful to have these sorted by updated, reverse order, so those newest stamps will be on the top. Here's how to copy notes on Nancy's iPad. Move the Gilded Autumn Designer Series paper since that's on top. So let's try the 3 dots in the very top right corner. And I believe what you want to do is duplicate the notes. We don't have to worry about this note showing up twice in the shared notebook because you don't have access to change it. You need to figure out where it is on yours. We search for all notes. And Nancy, could you show on the right column at the very top of the big note view where it's showing inbox?
And it says
a little bit to the left.
Oh, right here. Okay, yes.
And and so we can move that right now.
Okay.
And now we can look in the sample notebook.
There it is.
There it is.
Okay.
Now, the very first thing I want to do is to see if there are any tags in there.
All right. Oh,
And I'm not seeing any tags.
I'm not either.
Someone else was working with their iPad. The tech told her that some devices just aren't able to copy tags, and this might be a common problem for iPads. So Nancy Jo, what I'm going to do right now, I have created on my computer an extra notebook. So I'm going to share that notebook. I've called it Temporary Current Products to Share with Edit. So you're going to go to your work chat. Do you remember how to get to work chat?
Yes. Oh, it was in the left column, the little person at
Okay.
the bottom. Yes.
Okay. And so now you can click on work chat. So
Oh, there it
bottom
is.
it
I
says
see.
Temporary Current Products.
Temporary current products to share with edit. Okay, I have it.
And so now we can go over to that notebook. With access to edit our shared temporary notebook, Nancy can move notes from there to her personal notebook. In this case, since it's a unique notebook created just for her, she can move notes. She doesn't need to copy them. So Nancy, will you go to the temporary shared notebook? In the note view on the right side where the big note is at the top, it shows that it's in the temporary current products to share with notebook.
Yes.
Can you click on that little V just to the right of that? And now you can move that note to the sample notebook.
Sample. There we go. Move.
And let's go check the sample notebook. And there it
Wrapped in
is.
Christmas. Yes.
And can you click on that note so we can verify that the tags are there?
Yes. Tags
There
are
they
there.
are. And Nancy, how did you find the tags? Did you click on the eye?
Yes.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yes. And you just click on add tag, and that's how, let's see, this is in one, you just go ahead and that's how simple it is to add a tag for myself.
Thank you very much, Nancy Jo, for showing how to add a tag. Since Nancy Jo has a premium version, she could even create a new temporary notebook and move all my notes from our shared temporary notebook to hers. Then she could take her time to move notes for just the products she owns to her real personal notebook. If I share a unique notebook with you, we will determine how much time you will need to copy that notebook. That notebook will not replace the current products notebook. It will not be kept updated, and it's only temporary. I will delete the notebook after you've had a chance to copy the notes for the products you already own. After that initial period, you'll have to add the tags. And Nancy Jo has just showed you how easy it is to add tags. So you'll just look at the tags in the current products notebook so you'll know which tags to add. And Evernote Tech did tell me that they are working on a version that will look the same and work the same on all the different devices, and that it will be available on the online version of Evernote as well. So hopefully we'll all be able to copy notes no matter which version of Evernote and which device we're using. So Nancy and I have both found that working on smaller devices like her iPad or my Android phone, it feels a lot more limiting than a laptop. And if you have access to a laptop, it really is the better choice for copying notes. Here's how to copy notes on Debbie's Mac. And Debbie, can you show me on your computer how you can select just the stamps? Do you remember how to do that?
Under the tags down here.
Yes, and when you go down to tags And you can use the slider bar to get down there faster if you want. There you go.
Stamp.
And you're going to hold down your command key and click stamps.
Hold down the command key.
Hold down your command key. So now we see just the stamps.
Okay, I don't know that I've held down the command key before, but okay. Yeah, let me try stickers without. Yeah, I don't think I have to hold the command key. I just need to choose it and click on it.
When you don't hold down the command key, you are looking now in all of the notebooks. And I'm not seeing on your computer where it says all of the notebooks, but I do see that Elfie is in retired products. Debbie, if you want to find just the stamps, you're going to slide down to stamps, hold down the command key so that you stay in just the current products notebook.
Okay.
And now you should see just the stamps that are in the current products. Okay, so to copy Perfectly Plaid to your notebook, you can right-click this, and your, whoops.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to have your cursor right over one of your selected note. And then with the Mac, there is that copy to Debbie's stuff again, which is not available on the Windows machine. So go ahead and click there. And again, it doesn't show anything that it doesn't look like it's done anything. So if you go to Debbie's stuff, and you can do that, yes, right there. And see if Perfectly Plaid is there. And
There it is.
there it is. And again, you would be able to select multiple products. So if you want to go back to current products and go back to stamps in the P's.
And hold down the command key.
Yes, hold down the command key to click on stamps.
Okay, and down to the P's.
And if you could find 2 or 3 more stamps that you own.
And this one. And I have this one.
So you don't have to hold down a control key while you're scrolling down to the next stamp. But as soon as you want to click another stamp, you do need to hold down the command key, or your other 2 stamps will unselect.
There's another one. Okay, so that's 3.
Okay, and then again, you need to have your cursor above one of the selected stamps and right click, or use the 2-finger right click on your mouse pad. So then you can either use copy notes to or copy to Debbie's stuff again. And that's a nice feature. I want them to put that on Windows. So on a Mac, you hold down the command key anywhere that I have, hold down the control key on my Windows. Thank you very much. I think, is there any other difference that you see on the Mac that I haven't talked about?
Well, I wouldn't know. You did mention something over here.
Oh, yes, where the D is for you, that's where you can go to your account. The other thing that's different is, can you point out where the search notes box is? And it's up in the top right corner.
Oh, up here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my search box is in that center column. So the tags show. You may be able to see all of the tags on a Mac if you click the little I up in the corner. You would continue to copy notes from the current products notebook to your notebook until you're done. If you are using the free basic version, and you have a lot of stamps, you will run into your data upload limit. You can look at my notebook all you want, but you are not uploading any notes, so there's no data cap for you to run into. It doesn't affect it. But the second you copy a note, you have added data. When you try to add new notes after you reach that limit, it will say you've reached your limit. Debbie has the basic level for Evernote. She was able to copy about 150 notes before she reached her data limit. You can check your account. Just go up to Help, go to My Account page, come down to Monthly Usage, and it will tell you how much of your data limit you have used, and then it will say when it will reset. So if I had somehow reached my data limit, I could start copying more notes in 28 days from now. So no matter what kind of device you're using, you'll want to copy the notes for all of your crafting products. Once you get all your stamps copied, I recommend that you go ahead and copy your dies. So you can do the same thing, just click out of stamps and click on to dies. Again, holding down the Control key. And now I've got all my dies. And copy all the dies that you want. And right click in that center, copy the notes into the notebook, copy, and in that sample notebook you will see the dies too. Right now it's only the dies that are showing because I've still got dies, but if I click out of that, there's my stamps and my dies. Let me add some designer series paper, and so I'm going to copy those to the sample. Copying some embellishments, and just for the fun of it, I'm going to copy a whole bunch. So I'm selecting this one and I'm sliding down to the bottom. And if I hold down the Shift key, it copies everything. So pretend for a minute, boy, wouldn't that be fun to own all of the embellishments. And maybe I better copy some punches too while I'm here. Sure, I'll copy all of them. One of the things that you may have noticed is I did not copy any bundles. I do have all the bundles listed in the current products notebook, but I personally don't think it's helpful to have a bundle listed when I'm searching for my products. So if I have bought a bundle or a suite, I will copy the products, each individual product, into my notebook, but I do not copy the bundle note or the suite note. And basically all of the products that you own should be in your personal notebook. When I look at my personal notebook, I have all my ribbons. I have new and retired products. I even have some products like this 12 by 12 file drawer that I found at IKEA that I'm thinking about getting and putting in my craft room. I have things like my big tweezers. And I also, what I do for mine is put where they are. My stamps don't have where they are because they are all together in one cabinet. But I do have a few that are not there, some of the old wood ones that I have. For instance, I have D is for dog, and it doesn't really fit with my other stamps. I don't use it often, and so I have it in a cupboard. It's in the bottom shelf in a plastic bin. And so I have told myself where it is. I've also added a tag for the cupboard bottom shelf. So I can go over to location, that cupboard in the top shelf, that's what I have there. So I can find my craft supplies from my computer. I can find where it is when I know what I want. One of the things that you can do when you have all of your products in your own notebook is plan your cards. So let me go to my sample notebook and let's plan a card. And let's plan a birthday card. So I'm going to hold down the control key and click on birthday. And we want to pick, these are the stamp sets that I have tagged as birthday and copied into my note. So let's use fancy phrases. Once the note is in your personal notebook, this is your note. If I update the fancy phrases note in the current products, it will not be updated in your personal notebook. But you can edit. So maybe you don't like all of the information about the bundle or the prices in the other markets. You can just erase that. Or if it's a stamp set that has French and German pictures, you can erase those. That's fine. This is your note, and you can do with it as you wish. You can also add tags. So maybe we're going to use this, and let's add a tag. And maybe I'll put today's date or name this project. But for right now, I'm going to just put the date. I'm recording it on August 2nd. This does have the fancy tag topper punch. So let me uncheck birthday and find that fancy tag topper punch. There it is. We might as well go ahead and use that. So we're going to add a tag to this one. 8. And once I've added a tag, all I have to do is start typing it and it pops up again. It's in my list of tags. And we probably want to use designer series paper. So let's see what designer series paper we have here. That one might be a fun one to use. Notice at the bottom I have all the papers, the individual ones. And maybe I'd use, well, that's pretty busy. Maybe I'll use this one. That yellow is crushed curry. So I'm going to use plain with paper. So I'm going to add the tag. By the way, there's this series of V says that there's more room for tags. So I'm going to click that and add a tag and add it on my 8-2. And then maybe I will use crushed curry and see if I have any embellishments with crushed curry. So I'm going to put crushed curry, and also, well, I see that there are some embellishments. Now that one doesn't really have crushed curry. There is crushed curry in the sweets. So maybe I will use these. That would be fun. So I'm going to add my date here. And now I'm going to X out of here. And I'm going to hold my control key down and press that tag. And I have the products that I used. I can also change my view to the card view and have bigger pictures. And now I can see the products that I want to use. But I can design my card, and maybe I could rename this card birthday card for Mom 2020, or whatever you want to call this card. I could even create a new note with a picture of the card already made up. That's how to create your own notebook. I hope that's helpful for you. I totally love Evernote. I love that it gives me the chance of looking through my products. I love that it gives me the chance to design cards and keep track of it. Somebody was suggesting that you keep track of the cards that you send to people. Certainly possible to do with tags or even just typing in the names. If you're interested in sharing my notebook, just come on over to bevadams.com. Click on Shop, and then click on Products from Bev. And then I have an explanation of my Evernote notebook and a PayPal button, and you can share my notebook. Thank you for stopping by. Talk to you soon. Bye.